Hi everybody, it's Doreen from Privies and Prim's Needlecrafts, and I want to welcome you to my channel. This is mostly about cross stitch, and I do throw in some punch needle and wool applique, and today I have a punch needle finish to show you, and I have cross stitch, and I have some haul because I've been shopping, and I have some happy mail. So we're going to get started. One thing I want to show you is someone had made a comment and asked me to show how I store my threads. And this is going to be really brief because I don't do anything fancy. This is my overdyes. I just put them on a ring. I do not use floss tags. Is that what they're called? Where you put them on there for each project. I don't do that. And then this is my week's dye works. And I did put these little plastic things on there, and I will post the link for those down in the description box. They're just little stickers, and I got them on Amazon, and it just goes to here right to there. So you just stick them on there, and then it helps them to kind of lay better on the ring. So that is how I store my overdyes. And then this is how I store my DMC. They're all bobbinated, and that's the way I prefer them to be. And I have 3 of these, and then I have one large one. It's a tackle box, and I just bought it at Walmart. And it has like overflow, like if I have 2 of something or 3 of something, the extra ones go in that. And then if I'm like using one on a project and I want to kit up another project, I can pull from that box instead of having to go out and buy it. So this is how I did them. I took one of the bobbins, and this is just like cardboard, and I write the numbers on there of what is in this box. So that's how I know. So like I said, I have 3 of them, and one is starts at 0, and then one goes from 950 to just nothing because it's up to the higher numbers. So that's how I do my floss storage. So nothing fancy. Okay, I have a finish, and this is Teresa Miller from Teresa's Primitive Treasures. Now, this pattern is from the Punchneedle Primitive Stitcher magazine, Christmas Winter 2017 issue. And this is my finish. I have not fully finished it yet, but it's just going to be a little pillow. And the linen is 36 count weeks dye work Dove. And I got it at Sassy Jack Stitchery in Asheville, North Carolina, and she does ship, so you could order it from her. It's really hard to get this color on camera, but it's like a teal bluish green, and it is gorgeous. Maybe if I move back, it comes out better, but it's just really hard to get that color on camera. But so I still have some more of it left, and I don't know what I'll do with the rest. If you know of a pattern that's primitive that uses this fabric, please let me know in the comments so that I can look at it if there's a sampler or something. Okay, so I've just got a pile here. I'm just going to pick it up. I tried to make a little thread bed, and I was successful. It worked out. My lines are not straight. So this is the just iron-on interfacing on the inside, which you can kind of see the fabric through it. So I'm not real fond of that. I think I'm going to use, for the next ones I make, I'm going to use Warm and Natural. And I'm just going to put like some spray adhesive on the back of it to stick it to the fabric until or maybe I'll just use a glue stick until I fold this over and sew it together. Now, my lines, as hard as I try, I cannot get them straight. I can stitch all day, but sewing on a sewing machine is not my favorite thing. So I ordered an attachment from Amazon, and what it is, it's actually a foot for my sewing machine, but on the one side, it has a vertical guide so that when you're sewing your fabric, it butts up to that guide, and it will give you a clean 1/4 inch seam. So it's supposed to arrive tomorrow, and hopefully that works out for me. And then these little plastic snaps. Now, when I looked at this up in the loft, I thought it matched that brown, but it's really kind of a reddish, but it's close enough. I mean, now when I take it out of the sunlight, it looks more brown. See there? So this is fabric that is my favorite project bag. And someone asked me on Facebook, where did I find this fabric? Well, I had it years and years ago. I bought it somewhere and that got used up. And then a couple years ago, I found like just a little bit of yardage at a thrift store. And I sent it to a friend of mine, Wanda, and she made this for me with the Notions bag inside. And I did want a little thread bed to go with it. So that's going to go in there. So, all right. Next, I feel like I have more haul than anything. I just ordered some stuff. Now, this was sent to me by a subscriber. Thank you, thank you. And I had to post today on Facebook because I forgot who gave it to me. So what I'm going to do is get the threads off here. I'm going to write her name down and put it in this zipper pocket so I can always know who made it for me. So this is, I was stitching today at a quilt guild sewing day, and so I used this as my thread bed. It's flannel, and it, you know, your threads will stick to it. And then this is a pin cushion that comes off. I know I've shown this before, but there's a lot of new subscribers, and thank you so much for coming over and subscribing. So it has a little zipper pocket for your threads or notions, and then it has the flannel. Well, and it also can go on the arm of your chair like that. So I love this fabric. I love the coordinating fabric. And let me get it close for you. So it has little sheep on it. Isn't that adorable? So I contacted the girl who made it, and she told me where she got it, and I called them. And I sent them a picture of it by text, and they had one fat quarter left of the sheep fabric. That's all they had. So I am getting that because I want to make a project bag to match this. I'm making all these project bags, and I hate to sew, but I want the project bags, so I'm going to do it. So the coordinating fabric, which I'll show you better here on the pin cushion, there's a bigger piece of it. The coordinating fabric is from a different store. And I looked at their website, and because the girl that made this, she told me, it's a lady, not a girl, but I call them girls. She told me where she got it. And so I looked on their website and found it, and I ordered that. So I just spent some money online ordering that stuff so that I can make that project bag. And that does look more red on the camera. I don't know what it's showing. You see back here, it's very primitive. It's not a bright red. It matches perfectly. All right, so I will get to my webs in a minute. So the other thing I got is I went to Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, Tennessee, and just a moment because I have to say hi to somebody. Let me see. They wrote it on my receipts. I have to say hi to Claudia. So Claudia, hello, and thank you for shouting me out, I guess, in the store. She went there and said that she knew me and talked about how fast I stitch. I hear that a lot. I do stitch in hand. I don't use a hoop, and I stitch using the sewing method. So I just go like this across the row, and then I go like that back across the row. So it's very much faster than the poke and the pull like this. That takes longer. So anyway, I bought this piece that they had left, and this is, and you know, the last floss tube, I told you that I went to Sassy Jack's and bought a piece of linen. It was the Dove, the Weeks Dove Dove. And that was the first time I had went into a store and bought linen like that. Well, and people said, now you're going to be hooked. And I said, no, because I can't afford it. Well, I've bought 2 pieces since then. Oh, no, I think this one. And then I have a piece that was gifted to me. No, I bought 2 other pieces. So this is PTP. Okay. And I'm forgetting what that stands for. Picture this plus. Okay. You're all yelling it at me, right? Picture this plus Ren, and it's 36 counts. So this is the piece that I bought. It's what they had left, and I just grabbed it. I wanted to spend, I told her, what can I get for $15? And she measured this out. They sell it by the square inch. And this came to $14 and something, which to me, it's still, I think it's crazy the prices of this linen. I mean, compared to what, like, you know, you buy for quilt fabric, it's so much more expensive. But it's so gorgeous. It does have, like, you know, it's hand dyed, so it does have a modeling on it. So I got that at Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, and I'll show you my punch needle finish now. This is a Not Forgotten Farm pattern, and her pattern calls for DMCs, but I used Valdani, and it's looking really bright on mine. Maybe back here you see it more primitive, but the red shows up so bright, and it's not that bright. So anyway, these are all variegated Valdanis. So I just used the pattern cover and then matched the colors to what I had already in my stash, because I wanted to use the Valdani. It's been a long time since I did some punch needle, besides finishing that sheep one that I showed in my last floss tube that I put on the basket. And this came out really good. And this is actually going to be a needle book. And that's what the pattern is for. So you turn this, you know, all back, or trim it off actually, and then sew another like fabric thing. There's assembly instructions with the pattern. And then this part right here is like the part that folds. And so that becomes a needle book. So that is Not Forgotten Farm, and it is in her Etsy store. And then I'm on this needlebook kick. So this is my current whip. I am still monogamous right now, but that's going to change very soon. In my favorite project bag. This is also a Not Forgotten Farm needlebook. And the instructions call for, I made a little needle minder with a piece of the fabric from my project bag. So the instructions call for you to attach another piece of fabric here, and then that would be the outside and fold over, and then you have just a cotton quilt fabric on the inside. But this piece, this is the Nate Berkus upholstery linen, and this piece is actually big enough for me to use it as the backing also. So I'm going to do mine a little different than what the directions call for. It is a little bit big for a needle book to go in your project bag. I would kind of prefer it kind of be like that size, but I love this pattern. And then it gets like some penny things down here. I'll post a picture here. So I stitched last night down here, and then I left all of this. I did this outline because I know I was going to a sewing group today, and I'm going to also be stitching Saturday with a group. Starting a cross stitch group in Burnsville, North Carolina, which is western North Carolina near the Tennessee line. And we are going to meet at the Yancey County Library Saturday from 11 to 1. So if you're within driving distance, please join us. Contact me just to verify if you confirm if you want to come. So it is free. So this is my current whip. Now I am going to put this aside now. I worked on it today at the sewing day for the Quilt Guild. I don't quilt. I just go to hang out with the girls. But I just did a couple rows here, and then I'm going to put this away because it's perfect for when you're stitching with a group to just have a fill in, and so you don't mess up. So I want to save that for when I'm with a group and not when I'm just sitting home. This is the little thing. So when I make project bags, I'm going to make these to match, and then the thread bed also. So that is my whip. Now, what I'm going to be starting, I've got more stash to show you. Not stash, but what somebody called it. Stash enhancement. Stash enhancement. Yeah. So I have more to show you. So this I ordered from Hollis Hands Creates, and this is Winter's Brew from R&R. And I thought I was ordering 36 count, but if you go on her Etsy store to order it, be careful because there's a little drop down menu and you have to choose 36 or 40. And I didn't realize that was there. And the default was set to 40. And so I got 40 count. But I did make that round snowman in the snow globe on 40 count. So I have stitched on 40 count before. I just think I would have preferred the 36, but hey, we all like a challenge, right? So anyway, this is from Etsy. Hollis Hands Creates on her Etsy shop. And what it's for is, this is my Teresa Kogut bag, and this is from Goose on Etsy. And then inside, it has a different Teresa Kogut fabric there. So this is what I am going to be stitching right here on this fabric. And this fabric is what was used on the model, which is why I bought that. And I am going to change, it's going to say with my hands instead of with thy hands. And that is on her website. There is a chart for that. It's charted on her website. And I think also it's under pattern corrections. And I think she also like left part of the bottom border off, and that is also on the website under pattern corrections. So this is what I'm going to start probably today. I don't know. I said that I was going to do this next, and then I ended up not doing it next, but I am going to do it. So I may start that tonight. I don't know. So I'm going to not be monogamous anymore because I'm going to have this going. But what I want to have this going is for doing smalls in between. And then when I want to work on something else, I'll pull this out. And then also, I'm going to be doing O Tannenbaum, if you know that one from Brenda Gervais. And instead of pausing and going and getting the pattern and everything, I'll just post a picture up here of it. So I'm going to be making that, and a friend of mine had it that she's going to make it also, but I don't think she's making it right now. But we talked about the fabric, and it's Picture This Plus Legacy 36 count is what it calls for, because you need the 36 count because it comes with the box and you know with different sections. So you have to have the fabric right so that it will fit in the box. And she actually gifted me, very nice friend, a piece of the fabric. So this is my fabric here for O Tannenbaum. And that is, again, Picture This Plus Legacy 36 count. So that is what I'm going to use for that. Now, what I'm going to do that for is the Homespun, is it Homespun Needlework group on Facebook. It's a cross stitch group, and they are doing the 25th of each month to stitch something Christmas. So I think that's the only time this is going to get stitched, the O Tannenbaum. So that will be another whip. So I may only have 3 whips, but it won't be monogamous anymore. Or I won't be monogamous anymore. So what's next? I bought some pretty threads. And these were for the Teresa Kogut designs. Now, one of them on the With Thy Hands, it says that you need, on the thread list, it says CRE, black coffee. Well, I didn't know what CRE was. And I asked Teresa, and she said that it may have been a typo or something, but it's actually Classic Colorworks. And before Teresa got back to me, I was in the store, the Cross Stitch and Crafts, and I asked her, I showed her actually a picture of the color list in the book, and she said that Classic Colorworks is the only one that has black coffee. So that's what I got. And it's a really soft black. It's not like a harsh black like 310. I never use 310. I always do like 3371 or something. I just don't like that harsh black. But these are all Weeks Dye Works. They're really pretty colors. Parchment I was out of that. So again, it's not a white white, it's an off-white. And then brick, I got just half because I wanted the primitive red, which it doesn't look primitive there, but maybe there. And sticks and twigs, I need it for another pattern. Classic Colorworks. So those are the threads that I've bought. So yeah, I'm in spending a little bit of money. I don't usually. I usually, I like to hold on to my money. But I went on a girls' day out last week on Friday, and some of my friends, I call them the Virginia girls, hey girls, they come from Virginia to my retreats. That's how I met them, and we became friends. And so they were going to Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City on last Friday. So we met up in Jonesboro, Tennessee for lunch, which is the oldest town in Tennessee. It's a real cute town. We had lunch there, and then we went to, I'm going to post some pictures here as I talk. So first we had lunch at a place called Buzzed Wings. And then we went to a quilt store in Jonesboro, Tennessee, which is called Tennessee Quilts. Everything in the store was 20% off until the end of January. And then we went to Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City. And we were there for a while, and I really hated to leave them because, it's like leaving family when you see them only once or twice a year. But I will see them again in March at my retreat, so it won't be too long. So these are some teeny tiny little pin keeps, bowl fillers, whatever you want to call them. You can see they're about the length of my fingers. This is a pattern from Asbury's Echoes. It's for a little box that you put sewing stuff in. And this is the pin cushion that you can put in it. Now, I made these for some friends, and I'm going to give them to them tomorrow. And as you can see, if you look closely, if you pause and study, each one is different. It has a little bit different something about each one. So when Rhonda charted it, her heart is not the same as what I did mine. I did mine wrong. And that threw everything off, and I didn't want to take them out. So, and I had to change some colors. This color, I think, was supposed to be here, and I did that wrong. And then, so I changed this to blue, and then I changed the hand to 3033 so it would show up on my fabric. But these are a cute little thank you gift, and I put my label on the back and some prim fabric that I had in my stash. I just had some little pieces, but it was enough. The labels are from Ever Emblem, and they're iron-on, and I coffee stain them. So that is just a little thing that I made, and those are good thank you gifts. So at the quilt store, I'll show you what I bought there. I bought not a lot because I just basically got it for project bags since I don't quilt. But I got this fabric. Let's see. I was really hunting for primitive, and it's kind of hard to find in some of these stores. Now this is called Quaint Cottage by Gingiber, Gingiber. That is, it's called The Secret Garden. Magic is always pushing and drawing and making things out of nothing. The Secret Garden. So that, it's kind of a dark mustard color. And then this one, which is kind of looks like cross stitch. I like that one. So I think I just got like a half a yard of each one. And this is Jane Austen's house. Riley Blake Designs. Jane Austen's house. And the designer's name is cut off. So I don't know what that is. So, and this came in different colors, but I wanted the more prim one. There's one with like, the one that my friend got is like a white background, and it has colored things are different colors on it. It's very pastel-y, kind of spring. And then they had it, I think, in like a navy blue, but it was really dark. And then I got this one, which is just a kind of a neutral, but I liked it. And it is It says Andover Juniper Berry, created by EAYTA something AR of Laundry Basket Quilts for Andover Fabrics. I can't pronounce that name. I can't even, it's almost like a cursive, so it's even hard to see. And I know how to read cursive, but that one was a little challenging. Okay, and then another kind of neutral. Again, I was just going for primitives, looking for primitive prints that I could make the project bags out of. And this is by Julie Hendrickson. I don't know. Are you guys even interested in knowing who the designer is? Wyndham Fabrics presents Lexington, 1890 to 1900 by Julie Hendrickson. So I'm thinking these are like Civil War reproduction, maybe. Now I got some fat quarters, and for coordinating fabrics, like for the project bags, that one would work. And then for this one, this would also work because the colors are right. And for this one, that one would be the inside of the project bag. And then this one, again, this one matches. So this one actually, it's just like little arrows, matches them all. And I got this blue. I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but these were $2.50 each. They're in the sale room. And then I got another just basic tan one. And those are at Tennessee Quilts. And all of that was like whatever their price is and then 20% off. So these were $2.50 in the sale room, and then they were 20% off. And then today I went to a quilt store in Burnsville, and I got these two fabrics. So the brown would be the outside of the bag, and the green would be the inside. And it's kind of like leaves. I wanted something for fall. And there's that again. And I don't know if you're getting the true color. It's a dark brown. And those are, let me see, they're Moda. If you catch a falling maple leaf, you'll fall in love with the person you, it's cut off. Maple Hill by Kansas Trouble Quilters. But it does say, if you catch a falling maple leaf, you'll fall in love with, and then it's cut. Oh, I don't know what it's supposed to say. These were not on sale. I just try to shop local sometimes. Follow your dreams, they know the way. And this one is called Prairie Dreams by Kansas Trouble Quilters. So they were next to each other on the shelf, so I thought that they kind of coordinated, which they do. All right, I think that is it. I have some stuff, that I finished stitching that I'm going to be putting into FFO and completely finish it. If you're new, FFO is fully finished object. So I have some stuff that I showed on the last floss tube. You can go back and watch that one if you missed it. And I have to frame things. I have a frame for, let me show you. I have a frame for this that I found at my mom's. This is Brenda Gervais, Maker and Mender. And I'm not sure if, I don't think it's really going to work. It's supposed, what I need is 9 by 13 and it's 10 by 13. So it has more space up here and here than it does on the sides. But I have an idea that I might put it up and then put some fabric at the bottom and then a piece of trim where they join, or I may just hold on to it and keep looking for the right size frame. But it is an odd size. But I really like this. It's so pretty. One of my favorite pieces. So, and I still haven't done anything with this. I did not put it on the board that I showed you. This is a Primitive Betty's pattern, if you're new. I just have Warm and Natural on the back. And I do that because I knot my threads when I start a new thread. A lot of times I knot them. Sometimes I'll go behind the others and start it that way. But I just try not to even worry about that and just do knots. And then I put the Warm and Natural on the back with spray adhesive. And it kind of pads it so that you don't see, like you don't see bumps where all the knots are. It takes care of that completely. So I think that's it. So I don't have a lot done, but I had a lot of, good stuff to show you. And I wanted to make another video because it's been like a week. And I thank you again to every single person that subscribed. Thank you so much. And you may notice like my hair is getting longer. And I said I was going to the hairdresser's, but she had pneumonia. And so I'm waiting. I'm challenging myself to wait 2.5 more weeks and get it cut in the middle of February, the next time I go to Tennessee, because I don't want to make a special trip over there just for a haircut. So that's my rug hooking group. We'll meet in Johnson City on the 15th of February. And so the plan is to get my hair cut that day. But I have to be able to, I get it cut every 4 weeks. So I have to make it through this in-between stage. And then I may end up leaving it a little bit longer than I normally do, and longer length. And I realized too that I have the same shirt on that I did my last floss tube. I promise you I have not worn it for a week straight. I was going out today, so I just put on a little different than a t-shirt. And then a lot of people asked me, they commented about this snowman. This one right here, I do not know where I got him or when I got him, or all I know is he's not commercially made. He is handmade. And then this little guy, when I bought him, I don't remember where I bought him either, but it was last year. When I bought him, I wasn't sure if he was like locally made or he was commercially made. I think he's commercially made because I saw one just like him in a store here like a month ago. Yeah, a month or two ago. So I think these are commercially made. So probably from China or something. So I just sit him in that little basket there. And then this guy, I'll show you more closely. So he's not signed, but here's the back, how that's put together. And that's just a block of wood. And there's his face. Very basic. It wouldn't be hard to make, but it's not signed. It may have come from a store called In Grandma's Attic, and that's in Kinzers, Pennsylvania. It's in Lancaster County. And I used to consign there, and she selling my crafts on consignment. She has a lot of primitives there. And if you go to her shop, there's a barn in the back, and in that barn is where there's tons of primitives, and most of them are locally made. So if you go to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, be sure to look up In Grandma's Attic. And she's also on Facebook. So it's called Kinzers. I think it's Kinsers. And that's probably where this came from. But I'm not sure. So again, check me out on Facebook. I actually just passed 8,000 followers on Facebook. That just blows my mind. That's more than I have here on YouTube. So follow along there because I post every day what I'm working on. And I also am on Instagram. At the end of this, right after this, there is a picture of a business card. If you pause it there, it's got all my information for my email and my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Etsy store. And thank you for those that purchased from my Etsy shop. I will be adding more probably in the spring. And I'm rambling on, but I thank you for subscribing, for watching. And half of the people watching are not subscribed, and it's totally free. So I really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button because it helps my channel grow. It helps YouTube push my videos out more because they see that more people like it. And also, if you hit the thumbs up, and if you don't want to leave a comment, just leave me a little emoji, but tell me what you're working on. Let me know what you're doing. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.